Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. Uh, it is deja vu all over again, huh? I love the famous quote from Yogi Berra, but it's so true. I mean, we've seen this type of action before. It feels like the lead characters change, but like the type of trading remains the same. Where it's the heavily shorted stuff. Just I feel like it's maybe like one or two sparks that light this fire, and then all of a sudden it's just like one after the next, after the next, after the next of these heavily shorted stocks just absolutely explode, right? Um, and some of the takeaways, right? And like I feel like this isn't the first time we've seen this, so now you kind of know what to expect, right? Fast trades. These are all about speed. So like Bed Bath and Beyond, right? That's one that last week was one of like I feel like of this round, Bed Bath and Beyond was one of like the more prominent names. Um, this week you had you had some action in like these little like small like genomic plays, so like NVTA, right? Huge move, and then it comes like drifting back down, right? So we've seen these names. I mean, there's so many more that like I'm just not even like like it's just numerous stocks are doing this, and like the thing that we know, right, based off of previous action, is that the moves can be very dramatic, very sharp, right? Very fast, and they can go a lot further than we expect. At the same time, when the momentum stops, we also know that they can reverse and just start to steadily walk lower, right? They don't always fall immediately back to earth, but oftentimes they start like a steady retracement, right? That leads to just like steady stair stepping action lower, right? So AMC was like a good example. This is like back in March when we had like a previous squeeze on AMC, right? It didn't give back the whole move immediately, but it started a very steady sustained slide to the downside, right? So now as you look at some of these names, I I am not going to be assuming that all of these are going to put in higher highs. Yeah, some of them will, right? But there's going to be a large portion that probably won't. The moves like this week, last week, they could be the high for the foreseeable future on these stocks, right? Because they were like flash in the pan moves that were created by just, a massive wave of volume and like a, specific sentiment in the market at that time where it's going to be really hard to recreate that again, okay? Yeah, some of them maybe were fundamentally driven, right? And some of them maybe have some sticking power or staying power. But for the vast majority, I would not be surprised to see, momentum start to deteriorate, volume start to wane, right? All of a sudden the stocks enter like a downtrend and just start dropping to the downside. What makes trading that specific action kind of tough after you get the pop is the option pricing, right? So when these stocks like Bed Bath and Beyond or NVTA, when they explode higher on volume, the option implied vols just surge, right? So these stocks went from like no volatility to massive volatility overnight. So the options really expand pricing wise to account for that. Okay, and the problem is like when these stocks start to steadily walk lower, that they might not be moving fast enough to really capitalize on the options because those the option pricing is so elevated, right? So for me, it's kind of like a challenge now. It's like when you catch like the fast pop, great, but like on the downside, it can be a little bit tougher. To me, it revolves a lot more around patience, right? Waiting for maybe a consolidation and a really specific pattern to try to time something because, just trying to like fade something that's up, you kind of run into this scenario where option pricing is super elevated and it might not drop fast enough or far enough to really compensate for that huge expansion in implied volatility on options. Okay, so long story short, now that like a lot of these moves have played out, I'm not necessarily going to be focused on them for a little while. Like I'm gonna wait and see how like the next few days, next couple weeks, maybe shape up, and then that will separate the names that are maybe have sticking power from the ones that don't, and then within the ones that don't, maybe you're looking at specific setups where you could maybe target downside. Okay. Um, if you like this video and you're looking for more information about swing trading or trading some of these meme names with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Have a great night, stay well, and we'll talk to you all tomorrow.